Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Welcome back to our course. Today we start speaking about the sixth part of method statement quality. This part is one of important parts of method statement. As this part we focus on quality requirements. Quality requirement contains test needed, acceptance element and acceptance criteria. Addition to this part, we prepare quality management plan to covering this concept or this part of the project with full details as a separate plan or involved in project management plan. These quality requirements different from one project to other because it is related to project specification, standards and contracts document. These tests have big effect on project cost and we must take it on consideration at estimating cost, especially at tendering phase or at cost control. Important notes at required tests. Firstly, frequency of test. At this part, we check the number of tests required for this work. Like we must do one bi-loading test every 200 piles at bridges, one compaction test each 100 meter length for roads and other according to project standard and specification. Cost of test, which is time required for test done. Test like sand cone and or field density take small time to determine and the test results appear. Other tests like bridge loading tests take long time to prepare. This must take into consideration at schedule of project. Other item at time relation between test time and activity steps. At this point we check when we must do the test. We can explain this at this example. When we start working at pipelines, we make a pressure test for pressure lines or leakage test for gravity lines at middle of activity. After installation pipe at trench and partially backfilling, we start this test. After finish test and it is pass, we can complete backfilling. So this test, it is during the activity steps, not after finish it. Other tests like non-working pile loading test that we do it to check the assumption of pile load. This test must done before starting the work. So this point is important to take it in consideration at cost and the time and the schedule of the project. Also time of test results appear to process to next step. Some tests we show its result immediately after done test. Other tests take long time for calculation and for make graphs to check the results. Clear example for this, sand cone for compaction test. at SandCon we take the result after from 8 till 24 hours after test done. Other test is nuclear test for compaction and moisture. This give us the result immediately. This may be have effect on the price of this or cost of this test, and other maybe nuclear equals 2 till 3 times the cost of sand cone, but it is depending on its time of results appear. Other point, availability on market, local or external. If we work at location don't have full laboratory that can do this tests for especially for special test like reflection of cat eyes, like at roads, like some special asphalt tests and steel test. We must send samples to external market, external lab, external market to do this tests if required. At previous project we submit samples of one of materials to apply test on it at Dubai, because tests required not available at local market. Some tests need to hiring special contracts or labs to perform it, like pile loading test, bridge loading test, bearing tests, closed circuit television inspection, CCTV, and others. Big tests required special contracts to make arranging this test. Like if we take pile loading test, we need to bring contractor, or if we have this equipment we need big steel beams and sandbags or concrete blocks and monitors, gauges, and other. This all need to be preparing for this test. So we need to hiring special contract or labs that have experience at this test. Sometimes owners determine where we must make tests. Maybe governmental bodies or nominal labs. At this time, sometimes make this test as a subcontractor for main contractor or as a third party for the project. This test have significant impact on project cost and time. Must review it and check to control its time to don't be have any delays because it or regarding to it. This two examples that focus on it previously. This pile loading test expressed for done on non-working pile or for working pile according to specification. This is important test that must done on time of beginning of work to check the pile load that have effect on distribution of piles at rafts, at pile cap and other. We can see this is steel beams and concrete blocks, cranes and other, and also we have gauges monitors to review the results. This test after finished, we take results to the lab to check it and make graphs and make calculations sheet, and we submit a full test report for consultant for this test done. Other one, CCTV. uh, at networks, nowadays we use closed circuit television by using camera on robots that can give us a video beside inside the pipes to check its condition and if have problem on it or no, have plugs, have any cracks and other. This need to done, be required to done before primary handover for networks pipe.